เกอร์เป็นคิกเกอร์
ใช่ครับ
ข้างหน้าครับอันนี้ต้องกดแรงๆกดค้าง
อันนี้อะไร
เป็นเลเซอร์
อ๋อเลเซอร์โอเคOkay, good morning. Thank you, moderator and co-moderator. My name is Cholawish Chanlalit from Srinagarhin Virod University. The topic is tendinopathy exists, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, come on. The distal tricep insertion anatomy is be like this. We care about the dorsal part is like a superficial and take a look more deeper in the joint, like a superficial layer is like a tendon part. The next, the capital number 2 is like a muscle part, and then the final one in the deeper from the joint is like the capsule part. If you take a look on the sagittal view, you can find that this one is like a superficial part, and next is a muscle, and then go deeper in the capsule part. We need to make sure that we not make any confusion. Olecranon spur is from the insertion of the superficial tendinous part layer of the tricep tendon. But olecranon osteophyte is a form along the articular margin of the olecranon. They have the different clinical scenario problem. The story will start with 2 scenarios that I used to have a problem. Number 1, this case is a bodybuilder. They got previously they used to meet me and I give the diagnosis of the posterolateral elbow impingement, but whatever the cause, he had a problem with the hospital. So they move from me and go to the operation in another hospital. And at that day, the surgeon, they thought about the olecranon bone spur can make a cause of posterior elbow pain. So they make a mini incision and cut the olecranon bone spur on there. And after that, he still have the posterior elbow pain. Doesn't work. 1 or 2 years later, he come back, and I found out that the tricep already ruptured, and also still have the posterolateral impingement there. So I do the arthroscope and then collect the posterolateral impingement, such as a PIGA, posterolateral olecranon osteophyte removal, and then do the tricep reconstruction. And the second scenario, this is a male, have a posterior elbow pain. The diagnosis is the cause of the pain is come from the olecranon bone spur. So I do the endoscopic to remove that piece of the bone that have a fracture in there and have a non-union there. This is a result. Have a successful result. Good range of motion. No need any protection. Let it go. 1 week, remove stitch. That's it. Unluckily, 2 months later, fall down and have a traction injury on his elbow and have the complete rupture of the tendon. Okay, after 2 scenarios like this, I have the 2 issues to concern. Number 1, if you remove the osteophyte olecranon bone spur, it can cause the tension site failure because it's a leading point to complete tricep rupture in there. And the second part, if you have a partial torn of the tricep, maybe you have a posterior elbow pain and weakness. How about this case? This case is more complicated. He come with the loss of motion and have the severe posterior elbow pain. You can see that you have 2 issues on there. Number 1 is olecranon bone spur that have the crack line over there, and also the olecranon osteophyte there. I think that we have a problem. Number one is fracture olecranon spur and have the posterior bony impingement that can cause him a loss of full extension. So we plan to the two steps. Number one, we need to remove the olecranon osteophyte to correct the posterior bony impingement. We decide to avoid the tricep involvement as much as we can. So I use the accessory posterolateral portal to work in there. And this technique is like a published on arthroscopy technique. And this two portal can work well with the olecranon bone spur and remove it there. Oh, sorry, olecranon osteophyte. And then we move to posterior olecranon bone spur. So we do an endoscopy and remove that fragment. And you see that the tricep still have a rupture in the superficial part because the surface at there it inserts on the osteophyte bone spur. So I need to repair to reduce the risk of the leading point to have the tension failure on the tricep tendon. This is a video at 6 months. Extension in every angle they come to have against, and he can go back to play golf. Japanese love play golf. This is American woman teacher. History of falling down and have the chronic pain. She got a diagnosis of posterolateral elbow pain since the injury, but she also complained about the back of her elbow also painful. I review in her MRI. You can see that still have some like a signal chain in the olecranon bone spur area. But it's like a tricep insertion. You can see that the tricep also have the signal chain in the superficial part of the tendon. So in this case, I do the posterolateral impingement release, divide pica and olecranon bone spur remove, and then endoscopic and go to take a look on the tricep insertion. Is found something torn inside, and I repair it back. This case is more complicated again. Injury, you can see that have a fracture radial head that healed already. He come with the loss of motion and weakness on the tricep insertion, and the weakness on the tricep for the elbow extension. So the diagnosis is hypertrophic osteoarthritis with clinical posterior bony impingement. And when you take a look at the MRI, you can see that the posterior elbow pain, limits extension and weakness of the elbow extension due to the tricep tendon is complete rupture in there. So it looks like that he got a neglected distal tricep rupture and also have a hypertrophic osteoarthritis. So we do the two steps in there. One, arthroscopic osteocapsular arthroplasty. Remove the bone in the back and go in the front, capsulectomy. And then extension fully, and then we do an endoscope and repair the tricep tendon insertion, such as like a double low repair of a rotator cuff. Here is the 2 weeks after operation, and this is one year after the operation. Another case is like a tender painful at the back of the elbow, her elbow, after she removed the pain for treatment of the olecranon fracture. Again, we check. I think that the video have some problem, but whatever, it's move on. You see that even she got the diagnosis, but I think that her clinical is not have like an instability, so I didn't do the LCL indication anymore. But we just go to remove the pica and scar tissue around her elbow, inside the elbow, and then moved to the endoscopic, and we found that the tricep was ruptured inside. So I put a suture ankle, then repair the tricep back. Please, in the trauma case, please not remove the tricep insertion. The tricep insertion is very strong. We need to preserve it. And this is a complicated case. Another female have the lateral elbow pain off and on. And right now, last 6 months, she developed the medial elbow pain again, on top on there. In the examination, in each part, tender of the LCL, forceful supination is positive. Posterolateral apprehension positive. Push-up test positive. In this situation, I didn't diagnose it like a calcitrant tennis elbow. For me, it's like a traumatic PLRI, posterolateral rotatory instability. And in the medial side, she got like a tender at medial epicondyl, reverse cosine test negative. And even the signal chain have found in the MCL. I checked with the moving valgus test and milking test is also negative. So I think that the MCL function is still stable enough. And tender or the olecranon. So diagnosis is automatic PLI, medial epicondylitis, and tricep tendinopathy and partial torn. I think that all of the sequence came from automatic PLI, and that have a complicated sequelae in there. But the lesion, they have a T lesion inside. So we do the arthroscope. Before that, I still cannot do the medial epicondylectomy to arthroscope. So I still use a mini open medial epicondyle debridement and repair the tendon, as Dr. Chichenok talk in that topic. And then I do the arthroscopic LCL indication and endoscopic assess the tricep tendon repair. At that, when you do the arthroscope, you can see the limb side, the cartilage limb that have a wear and tear inside, pyga formation, and also we take a look. And this one is we control the cartilage lesion, and we probe on the annular ligament is a type 2 side also positive. So this case is like a lateral structure is have a weakness on there. And I think that have a posterolateral rotatory instability. And this is a forceful supination. When you forceful supination in the elbow extension, you can see the ulnohumeral gapping very, very large in there. And we done the LCL indication. And I think that I will finish for this case because time is out. Another case may be about the tricep tendon repair again. And after that, forceful supination, the elbow ulnohumeral gap is negative. And this endoscopic to take a look on the tricep insertion, and we found that they have a longitudinal torn on the superficial part of the tricep, and then we repair it back. I think that enough the time. Thank you.